Hi. I was trying to make a center with hydrangea ball on it, and I thought I just wanted to share with you guys how I do it. So this is gonna be the center of the large 30 inches peony that I'm gonna be making very soon. So I thought I'm gonna share with you guys the components that I have on how I make my hydrangea center. So first off, I have this hydrangea template that I'm gonna be posting on my Etsy also. So these are very tiny. So once I already cut everything, and what I did is I have this 3 pieces of petals that I put together, and I use this small screwdriver. You can use whatever tool you have similar to this one, as long as you can curl it. So what I do, I put 3 at a time and then just curl the petals like so. And in every hydrangea flower, I uses 2 pieces of this small petal. So the first thing that I do is to put a very little glue, and in a staggered position, I put the second layer. So now we have our flower, but we wanted it to have a really more realistic and more elegant look on it. So what I do, I think you guys can find this pearl. It's self-adhesive, but what I do is to cut it like this on a strip, and after I finish cutting the strip, I cut it individually like this one. So now we're gonna get 1 piece of the pearl, and we're going to place that in the middle. So I believe I have enough of my hydrangea that I'm gonna need. I'll be using this 4 inches. Let's double check. So this one is a 4 inches styro ball that I cut in half. So that's what are we going to use. So the first thing is you'll have you know, you can there's no certain number of hydrangea flower that you need. Just eye it enough to cover it around, but also leave some pieces here that are, you know, not assembled like this, because we will use this one as a filler later in case there are some smaller spots that we need to cover. So as a filler, we'll only use like 1 piece, and we can just put it in the middle or in between, wherever we want it. So the way how I do my hydrangea ball, I first start in the middle. So this is the middle part, and I place my first hydrangea there. So the next thing is I'm gonna put 4 on this side. So like a cross, to make sure that I have balance and enough hydrangea everywhere. So that's my second, and I also wanted to put the third one opposite to this first one. And if you notice, I am placing my hydrangea flower to cover up this thing here. So this petal is parallel to this one, like so, to really make sure that I cover the spots. It also helps that my hydrangeas are white, so you know, since my styrofoam are white also. But I think if you are using like a colored hydrangea, I would suggest to cover like a styrofoam safe paint, or really make it sure that you have a dense concentration of a hydrangea to make sure that your white styrofoam would not be shown. But if you're using white, that's fine, perfectly fine. So we're making like a cross here. Like so. So remember what I said earlier, that we need to have like flowers that are not assembled like this. This is what I'm talking about. We can put this in the middle, and we don't have to worry about filling this with large flower like this. Although we can, but we really don't have to if we have this filler. So what I can do for now is to fill this gap here with another assembled hydrangea. Like so. I'm going to do the same. We'll put the fillers later. And then I was just trying to fill the gaps here, like the gaps of the two previous hydrangea that we made. So now let's cover the 4 gaps here. All we need is just the unassembled hydrangea flower. Just going to put it in the middle. So what I do is I just fold the petals upward, have a little dab of glue, and place it there. And more. This is the third spot that we have, and then we'll do the last one on this portion. So our top part is covered. Now let's continue placing our hydrangea, like 2 petals here. Like so. And 2. So the same thing here, we need 2 flowers. And what I am just trying to do here is just filling the gap as tight as I can, but also still keeping the hydrangea, you know, like intact, and you can still see the texture on it. So there's more. Here's another one. And to the last part of this layer here. So as you can see, it's forming right now. All we need to do is really add more of the hydrangea flower. Like so. And I really love to use this one as a center because it's very, very elegant. just enough to keep it stick in there. Like so. And I'm really liking how it looks like right now. Just more. So there are portions down on the base that, you know, there's really no way that we can cover it with a larger petal, but we can always use this filler to cover them up. So, did you see these portions here that are uncovered? If we are going to place this thing here, it would be too much that if we place this center, it would not be flat at all. So what we are going to do is to fill it with the single flower hydrangea. Yeah, like so. So it will still stay flat once we glue this one onto our flower. There's another one here. And always test it if it's gonna be like a hindrance for you to lay flat on your flower. So after this, I'm gonna check all your messages. Let's see if you have any questions. I will be very glad to answer that. So I think we're done. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's fine because I'm gonna have another another component of center that would also really help this one hide this area here. So this will gonna be the center of my very large peony here, as I mentioned earlier. So that's it. So thank you so much. Let me check your comments. Let's start. I saw you all. Hi. Hi, and thank you all for joining. I'm still not seeing any. Are those on the design space from Crazy Paper Petals? No, it's not. I made it my own. But I believe there's also a template from the design space. But this one is different. So I'm looking for some comments. Let's see. So where can I buy the cutter for those small petals? Actually, you can buy it in Michael's, in Joann's, and any other craft store. But I believe also Cricut has their own website that you can directly purchase your machine from Blooming Days by Myra. And very beautiful. Thank you. Oh, it's a hole punch. No, it's not. It's from the design space. I'm gonna show you later with what petal I am using with us. I cut this from the design space, but the petal itself, I made it myself. So, but I believe you can also use the hole punch if you can. I think that's easier and that's more convenient for those of you who doesn't have if you guys doesn't have a machine. I think I saw that before on a hole punch. Thank you. Hello from Iliram Marili. Hi. Where do you buy or how big the bag looks for the small pearl? I got this one from Michael's. It's very tiny. I don't know the size, but it's really, really tiny. Just enough to give an accent for my hydrangea. Hello from Manabinadarno. What tool did you use to curl the petals? Actually, it's nothing fancy. I just use this small screwdriver that I use from my that I found from my husband's toolbox. How big is the punch for the hydrangea cut? As I said, I am not using a punch. I cut this using my Cricut machine, but I made a design myself. What tool did you use for the petals? To curl the petals? I already answered that. I used this small screwdriver. Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful work. Thank you. How much would you charge if you were to sell that one flower? Well, I don't really sell per flower. I sell by set. Really love all about flower for your magic hand. Thank you. Thank you. What is this for? This is gonna be, I'm using this as a center for my 30 inches peony. That is so pretty. Thank you. Thank you, Dolores. Could you please post a close-up picture? I will. Thank you so much. So I guess our live tutorial for this hydrangea bowl center is over. Thank you so much for joining, and maybe next time, or maybe I can show you also how I made my 30 inches flower. Thank you so much for joining. Bye for now.